Girls in Basketball. I'm your host, Kelly Kinkaid, and we are now finally, officially into the 2018-2019 NBA basketball season. This is the opening week we just had, and I wanted to bring a special guest with me to chop it up on what's going on the opening week for NBA. My friend, my colleague, Mr. Everything, Rob Markman. You know him as an MC, a journalist, and Mr. Everything at genius.com. Welcome to Girls in Basketball, Rob.
Kels, thank you for having me.
What's up?
That was a dope intro.
You're welcome. You know, I learned from the best.
Yeah, so did I. I learned from the same best.
At Real Sway.
Yeah.
So let's start this off right. You're a Knicks fan. I'm not holding that against you, okay? So let's just start that off. So, you know, we have a lot of fun during basketball season, going back and forth with our Nets and our Knicks. Both of them suck right now.
Right, I see where you're going.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah, go ahead. I know we
but,
played the other night.
I'm not holding that against you about the Knicks. But we're going to talk about them later. Let's talk about the opening week.
Oh, yeah.
The fight.
Yeah. It felt like brawl, the 90s. It felt like old Knicks basketball. I love it.
You know, the fight, it was the Lakers and the Rockets game. Yeah. It was the Lakers' first home opener with the King, LeBron James. And there was a fight that took place between CP3 and Rondo,
yeah.
And with a surprise with Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got the suspensions from the NBA. It was 2 games suspension for Chris Paul, 3 for Rondo, and 4 for Brandon Ingram. Do you think that was fair?
I think Ingram got too much, man. I think he was just defending his teammates, man.
But why
he came in crazy. Huh?
Why did he get in it?
Because the young boy got something to prove. Like, you know, they trying to set a tone for this team, you know. Because the other side of it, which I don't fault him, but I seen LeBron getting a lot of criticism for, first of all, he's 16 years in the league. Right. So LeBron shouldn't be mixing it up anyway. But grabbing Chris Paul and making sure Chris Paul was restrained and not his own teammates. I seen a lot of people criticizing Braun for that. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair for Braun. I think he was just trying to break up the fight. But I ain't mad at Ingram for sticking up for his teammate. Let's go. Well, I'm from that era. Let's mix it up.
Well, I had a conversation with someone about that as well. But you got to look at Paul, James, and even Anthony Melo. They are the elder statesmen of it. So they're looking at it as we just need to separate this, right? And Chris Paul is the president of the Players Association.
That don't mean he can't get rocked.
It's not. No, that's not true. But the point is, as far as James and they are friends, he had to get his friend first because his friend's first, family first over all this basketball. You know?
Nah, not.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, overall, they are representing the elder statesmen and the younger generation, all the rookies. They're looking at this, so they got to break that up. And if you look at it, Melo and other members grabbed some Lakers too.
Yeah.
Melo grabbed
Ingram.
Absolutely. And I thought it was interesting because Ingram is also from North Carolina, and so is Paul. And I was like, how you hitting your homeboy? Coming from the back, stealing.
I don't know him. Like he could get it too. Anybody can get it. No, I agree with you. I think as the elder statesman in the NBA, kind of nobody wants that in the league. But the Lakers are a very new team with LeBron as a new chemistry. So, you know, I think there's pressure. What I will say, I was joking about the other thing, but I do think for Ingram, you know, there's this kind of thing about I want to prove to my teammates. Maybe he went about it the wrong way. I want to prove to this locker room. I want to prove that this, you know, purple and gold, we rocking together because there's a lot of questions about Braun coming onto the team and how they're going to rally together. So, you know, the punch might have been a little bit too aggressive. I like how he ain't back down to Harden because the real thing started between him and Harden.
Exactly.
And so I think he was already in that mode. Like, I'm not going to back down. You know, Braun's not going to be the only one to have to carry this team on his back because that's what happens with LeBron James teams in Cleveland. A lot of the thing is that the supporting castmates didn't hold the weight. Now we're talking about on basketball, you know, within the flow of the game. But, you know, these young dudes are showing that they got heart.
Well, and I think it's very important for the veterans in the league to show that this is a business and you can't get on the court and just fight and stuff. And I know Ingram is 20 years old, early 20s and stuff, and he got that young energy going on. But can he afford to lose and be out for 4 games on this young Laker team that's still building?
It's early in the season. I think, you know, the important part now, the fight is done, is what's going to happen in that locker room. Is this going to fire up the other young ones? Because look, the West is tough, and the Lakers without Bron did their thing last year, so they're not going to be pushed around by the more veteran Houston Rockets. You're gonna have to be going up against Golden State. Like the West is a powerhouse, and I think the Lakers is like, yo, we here. And they talking championship. You heard that talk.
Yeah. And I think another question is, what's gonna happen the next Laker Rocket game?
Oh, it's must see TV. Like, I'm not mad at it. Like I don't. You could tell the whole game from tip off. There was a tension. There was an energy, and there's not traditionally a rivalry like this between the Rockets and the Lakers. Is one starting? I mean, the next game is definitely must-see TV. Like, I think every basketball fan is tuned in. If it wasn't on the TV schedule before, I bet you TNT and them are trying to figure it out how to get it on the TV schedule now.
Word.
So, yeah, we definitely tune in. The West is going to be wildly competitive.
And shout out to Nipsey Hussle for wanting to jump in.
Neighborhood Nip thought he was in the hood
ready.
again.
He was ready.
I think that was just instinct. You just got to get up and pull up your pants just in case. It got to go down.
You need my help because he was on the floor, right?
Floyd too. Floyd was fired up. Floyd.
Absolutely.
Like, look, man, we ain't see bad. I know this is not the point of basketball, but I came up as a Knicks fan in the 90s. So I'm a fan of this aggressive type. There was a time when this wasn't a big deal. Like, I remember when Greg Anthony jumped off the bench in Phoenix, and, with the ugly Coogee sweater.
There were some times of aggressiveness with Steve Jackson, with the Pistons were aggressive.
The bad boys. I remember Chris Childs and Kobe, the infamous two-piece.
Mahorn, Lambier. Michigan, we do represent.
It's cool. They big boys, man. Everybody be all right.
Starting for the opening game of the season of the NBA was my team, one of my teams.
Oh. We allow more than one?
Absolutely. For me, the Celtics and the 76ers. And it was a rematch from last year's playoffs. So the Sixers prevailed, but it was a great game. It was a great start to see who has been working a postseason and who was ready. The Celtics really showed up because everyone's healthy. You got Kyrie's back. You got Hayward's back. And we still have Jason Tatum, who is showing out already, and Jaylen Brown and stuff. And it was a really good game. I think that series just throughout the season is going to be really good.
Yeah, it's dope. The Celtics are scary because they were scary last year, even when, when Hayward went out. It was the first game, right?
Yeah.
Hayward went out and everybody was like, well, he was the big free agent acquisition other than Kyrie. So everybody was concerned, well, what's going to happen with this team? The team did amazing. And Kyrie went out and it's like, what's going to happen with this team? And the team did amazing and had a deep playoff run. Tatum is something else.
Yes.
Tatum is something else. So the one thing I think the big question about the Celtics coming in is now that, guys like Brown and Tatum got increased minutes and increased roles, Marcus Smart doing this thing. How are they going to fit in now that you got Hayward coming back and you got Kyrie coming back, Rozier did his thing. So how they're going to gel. But so far, early in the season, it's still very early, but it looks like it's dangerous. It's almost like they got two starting lineups.
Yeah.
It just ain't fair.
Absolutely. It's Girls in Basketball. I'm Kelly Kinkaid, your host, and I have my guest, Rob Markman, here, and we're talking the NBA Open Week. We've talked about the Lakers and the Rockets game, the Lakers home opener, and it was a historic fight between veterans CP3 and Rondo, with Ingram having a little feature in it. They had suspensions, and like we did talk about, the West is going to be a tough conference. We had the Warriors; they're back strong. I had one of my favorite games this week was the Warriors against the Jazz.
Yeah,
I thought it was a really good game. I mean, the Warriors, they're still coasting, but I feel like they did have to work a little bit.
It's going to be tough, man. They went back to back, so they're looking for the three-peat now,
right? And
nobody in this conference is going to lay down to them. I think even more than before. Even the not so good teams in the West are going to get up and play their best basketball against Golden State because I think enough is enough already.
Right.
Like we're not just going to let y'all dance all over us and Steph pull up from half court and so it's going to be tough. I always remember Jordan saying that, the back-to-backs, the three-peats were always kind of the toughest because every team in the league got up. They circled you on their calendar. And, it's the same thing with Golden State. So, it was dope to see Utah play them tough the way they did.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the game-winning shot was a former Utah Jazz player, Jonas Jerebko, who won the game for him. So that's kind of like on you, good for Jonas,
Which was weird too because we used to it being Steph or it being,
right.
KD, one of the two. Maybe you might get a Draymond, game winner every once and again, but to see, I definitely had to look. I was like, who?
Right.
I definitely
early predictions. Where do you think the Warriors fall in line for this year's playoffs?
I think Warriors are gonna, top the Western Conference again. I just think if they could stay healthy, that's just an impossible team to beat. And I think they go back to the finals. I don't see anybody getting in their way. This is a disciplined team. I love that they put their ego to the side. So, that was a lot of questions when KD came over 2 seasons ago, who was going to be the man?
Right.
And they put their ego to the side and they just play ball. So I think they're going right back to the NBA Finals.
One team I thought on the West Coast that I'm going to pay attention to is Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think you have Booker back. You have the new addition of Trevor Ariza and Jamal Crawford that's in there. I think that they're going to work and be a factor, maybe be a playoff in the playoffs, maybe make that top 8.
I can see Phoenix making the playoffs.
Yeah,
for sure, yeah.
Right. What are your feelings on the Houston Rockets with the addition of Melo and just the new changing around of the members?
Yeah, Houston Rockets, it's just going to be so tough. I think, again, it goes back to that ego thing now. So Melo going to Houston, it's where he wanted to go, because he was at the Hawks. We know he didn't want to be there.
Right.
CP3 is his boy. They're friends. So is Melo going to accept the role and know that he's no longer the man? I think he's ready to. It's clearly Harden and CP's team, and so Melo comes in as a role player, and they can do some damage.
Do you think Carmelo has a choice though at this point?
No, absolutely not. You can't be the man. But part of it is not having the choice, but actually accepting that, I'm more of a role player, I'm more of a supporting cast. And me being a Knicks fan, I love Carmelo. I'm the biggest Carmelo Anthony fan. But at this point, if he wants to win a chip, he got the NCAA championship.
Right.
And you know how great that felt. But man, if we're gonna come in the league, 16
like
years, this is his best shot at winning the ring. But I still don't see him getting past.
Do you think he made the best move as far as moving to the Rockets from the Thunder?
The Thunder thing just wasn't working out. Whatever was going on there, maybe it was an ego thing, maybe it was a chemistry thing. Whatever was going on in OKC, it just wasn't working out between him, Paul George, and Mr. Triple Double over there. So,
and speaking of
Westbrook.
Mr. Triple Double, Sunday will be his debut for the 2018-19 season with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He recently had the knee surgery, and now he's back. It's ready for him. I think him watching the first game of last week, he was itching. You're seeing a lot just the first week, but a lot of these injured players are being coaches as well.
Yeah.
And I see just this movement, this shift of they want to be a part of it. Even Kyrie, of course, LeBron was coaching the Cavs when he was last season and the seasons he was there. But Russell Westbrook, do you think that he can break? I feel like it's a curse because everyone has always put on him, he can't get over himself as far as moving forward and getting out of moving forward to a higher level in the playoffs.
Right.
Do you think this is the season? Paul George stayed with him and now they have different players. Where do you think the Thunder will land this season?
I mean, they're gonna be middle of the road, maybe even lower, maybe 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a 5th seed. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's not gonna happen. Westbrook takes a lot of the blame too. I want somebody to take a closer look at that OKC organization because you're looking at what the Warriors did, and outside of Kevin Durant, the Warriors built that roster organically. Through draft and through years of just building team chemistry. And I felt like the Thunder could have been that. If you look, the young Thunder core was, Westbrook, Harden, Kevin Durant,
Serge
Ibaka.
Yeah.
Like they really like Golden State did what the Oklahoma City Thunder was supposed to do. So I think that was kind of their potential at this point is done. I think Westbrook is still a great player. He's still going to be somebody that you want to watch night in and night out. But as far as getting over that hump or doing any better than he has in the playoffs, like I don't think they got a shot this year. The West just got too good. You got LeBron over there in the West now. You got the Rockets arming up, and I just don't think that OKC has done enough to improve that team.
Right. You're watching Girls in Basketball. I'm your host, Kelly Kinkaid, with my special guest, Rob Markman. And, I talked about you're a Knicks fan. So let's talk about the East Coast Conference.
Let's go.
So the Knicks, new coach, Fizdale is there.
Yeah.
Porzingis, PK is out, still out. But they got, I was, I'm going to give the Knicks some kudos. They're looking cool. They don't suck. They're looking good. I like Knox, who actually just had a little injury, so I hope he's okay. Yeah. Kevin Knox. Trey Burke is looking good.
Except he missed that free throw.
Against
the Celtics, man. I don't know how you miss a free throw.
It's the Celtics, though. Stop.
But nobody's guarding you at the free throw line. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
We're lucky. You catch that?
I don't know, Kelly, how you're allowed to have two teams. First of all, I don't know how you're allowed to have two teams.
Three. It's really three.
Who's the other team?
The Pistons. I grew up with Pistons. Invested in the Nets, and I rock with the Celtics. Feel me?
You see the look on my face?
That's what it is.
It's just disgusting.
That's what it is.
So you got three teams, but then two of your teams are in the same division.
Yeah.
How's that work?
No.
Celtics and Brooklyn Nets are in the same division.
Right, and they're all in the same conference. 3 is the magic number.
Look, the Knicks. First of all, the guy that I'm looking at this year actually is Alonzo Trier, undrafted rookie. I saw him in the preseason, and I said, man, this dude got heart. And you know what I'm saying? He the way he attacks the basket. I think he's gonna be he's gonna have a great rookie season. With the addition of him and Kevin Knox, I think that's a good young core. I think Ntilikina gets better as a defender.
And a healthy Hardaway, Tim Hardaway.
And Tim Hardaway looks like he's ready to put the team on his back. I like Fizdale. Fizdale's a player's coach. Early on, though, it's still very early, but I have my questions about Fizdale. I didn't like in the Nets loss how he kept Hardaway on how my man who hit on Levert. And maybe he should have switched and put Ntilikina, who's a long arms and better defenders. Fizdale admitted that, I kept Hardaway on him because I wanted to build confidence. And, I wanted him to have that opportunity to show that he's a better defender. And I'm like, I feel you, but when the game's on the line, you put your best defender. Like, you play to win. You know what I'm saying? And Tim Hardaway can learn those lessons in practice or early in the game or something like that. If the game is on the line and you felt like you could have made a better substitution or a better decision, then you should have made that. He also made an excuse for the team in the loss versus the Celtics when he said he drew up a stink play and, Trey Burke took the three, which had no chance of going in. He got fouled by Tatum, I believe. Trip to the line, 3 free throws, and he misses the first one. And, Fizdale in the media is still blaming himself for drawing up a stink play. And at a certain point, we're going to have to hold the players accountable. Like, those are free throws. Trey Burke should have sunk the 3 free throws down by 3.
But you have to think, it is early in the season. It's the first, we're just entering the second week. And that team is really getting pieced together with a new coach.
For sure.
The Knicks are 1-2 right now. And I think even
I don't like the way you emphasize that too, but keep going. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I love that the Knicks and the Nets little series and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a few games to play. It's a lot of young teams. It's a lot of teams that are really new and getting pushed together. So I think this first half of the season is going to be interesting because a lot of new coaches, a lot of new players, and a lot of new units are still kind of filling each other out and to see what it is. Talking about units, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jimmy Butler got to stay home. It was reported, actually, Kevin Garnett spoke about the owner of the Timberwolves, saying that he really didn't know anything about basketball, and Coach Tibb had no risk of losing his job, and Jimmy Butler actually went out there and played ball. And, I think that internally, I really hope that they get it together, because I got a chance to go catch some games, a game last season, and I really was like they could be promising.
Yeah, no, it's a promising young team. Jimmy Butler actually, coming in and being a veteran of that team and has a lot to teach. I think what happened in the practice with him and Wiggins, and to me, I kind of see it as Jimmy Butler trolling a little bit. I think he used it to fire the team up as a teachable moment, but I don't think he gets traded. I think he's stuck there, and they're gonna have to figure it out, and it's gonna be uncomfortable at some moments. But with Butler, you got a guy. This method that he's using is really unorthodox,
right.
But he's really taking the team to task. But at the end of the day, what you have is a guy that wants to win. I like it. It's a different character in the NBA than we've seen. So it calls for a bit of drama.
I think that the more wins, you forget about all the drama.
Yeah.
Just win the games. And the last thing with the Timberwolves, is this the year for Andrew Wiggins to play to his full potential?
It better be. I think that's what Butler. I think
Yeah.
that was what Butler is getting at.
Yeah.
There's guys who are physically better than him. Their potential is through the roof, and are not playing as hard. So if you mix that with playing, talent is not enough. You got to play hard. And I think, I think we see a different Wiggins by the end of the season. I think just playing with Butler, whether he loves him or hate him, is going to toughen him up.
Right.
And somebody that's going to hold his butt to the fire.
And they need that. They need that. And as we just scale down the East Coast Conference, your prediction for the New York Knicks.
The New York Knicks. You see, first of all, you're trying to play.
I can't help it.
You want to know my serious prediction? You want to know my real prediction?
I'm ready. I'm going to brace myself. For your Knicks.
For my Knicks. I think the Knicks end up about a 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. Okay. I think it's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. I believe the Knicks will go to the NBA Finals.
You don't even believe that. You don't even believe that.
I think the Knicks will.
You said the finals?
The NBA Finals. I think the Knicks will face the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals, and will win with a gentleman's sweep, 5-game sweep, 5 games.
And then you
4-1, and the Knicks will be the 2019 NBA champions. This is what I believe.
I'm not gonna bust your bubble.
You can't. My heart has been broken long enough. Like I said, NBA Finals, Knicks and Golden State, gentleman's sweep, 4-1. Knicks walk away with the chip.
And I'm gonna clap and wake you back up. And let's talk about
Kevin Knox and Lonzo Trier, co-rookie of the years.
Drink your water. Drink your water.
That's good for you.
And I'm gonna clap again, and then we're back to reality. The Sixers, Celtics.
What about them?
They will knock them out. The Knicks out clear, fast. I will give them possibly a number 8 seed.
I don't know why you asked me what my prediction was, and then proceeded to give me my prediction.
I want to wake you up, but I love Knicks fans because you all keep hope alive.
I'm from New York, son. I got 100 guns and 100 clips.
Okay.
So that's it. But I think this Sixers Celtics rivalry that you speak of is going to be great for the NBA. I think that the East is depleted with LeBron going, like all the power is moving to the West, and that Sixers Boston matchup is going to be key. I like Boston over the Sixers. First of all, that whole Atlantic division is going to be crazy. But I like Boston. I think Boston gels as a team. You know, like I said, it's almost like putting two starting lineups on the floor. They have so many weapons off of their bench to work with. And once you get to the playoffs, depth is really important. So if they can stay healthy, they're going to be tough to beat. But, you know, like I said, the Sixers and Celtics will weigh each other out, and the Knicks will just come marching right in. They won't even see it coming.
I believe that too. I believe that too. Well, this has been fun, Rob Markman. What can we look forward to? I know you have your debut album, Right to Dream, is already out.
Yeah.
What can we look forward? Any new music? What we're looking for at Genius?
I've been releasing new singles, just about once a month. I released 9 singles this year after the Right to Dream. So my latest is a record called Talk to Me, featuring Wade Matthews. So that's on all streaming services now. And I'm starting to work on my second project. I finally got. I know where I want to go. I wanted a nice concept. I wanted it to come to me. I didn't want to chase what it was. So I just stayed singles driven for a while. And now, we have the core of what's will be my second project. So that'll probably come, if I'm being realistic, in early 2019. And in Genius, just, everyday working. I have a new show called For the Record, which is a new talk show. And, it's been great. We've had guests like Pusha T and Wiz Khalifa, Styles P, Dave East, Jonah Hill. I just interviewed Jonah Hill, which was crazy.
Because he has a new movie coming out.
He has a new movie coming out called Mid-90s. He's a crazy hip-hop fan. So it was dope to interview Jonah Hill, and we just talked about, like, Big L and why Big L was so great. I don't think there's another Jonah Hill interview like it.
Dope.
Yeah.
Any new artists we can look out for?
Who do I like? I like YBN Cordae. I'm a big fan of Cordae and what he's doing. I'm checking out Coi Leray. Is a new female MC from Jersey, I believe. She's dope. She has a new song called Huddy, which I think is dope. Always listening to Oswin.
Thank you.
Oswin got dope shit.
Got that olive oil out right now.
Yeah, that new olive oil joint. You had actually sent me. I actually got a preview of it. I felt so lucky.
And produced by Rod, the producer.
Yeah,
We're trying to squad up heavy.
Of course, you got to. So, yeah, those are kind of like my 3, Coi Leray, Oswin, and YBN Cordae.
Okay. And how can people reach you?
On every social media platform at Rob Markman, ROBMARKMAN, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like wherever you can find me.
We have to have you back. I'm going to watch your New York Knicks, and see how far they get to the finals and the playoffs. So thank you.
I'm going to come back when we win that 2019 NBA championship.
Yes.
And I'm going to sit in that seat, and you're going to have to sit over here, and then, you'll have some questions that you have to answer from me.
I'm going to get ready. And I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to Girls in Basketball. I'm your host, Kelly Kinkaid. I'm a girl who loves basketball. You can follow me on all social, KELLYKINKAID. Later.